your rising sign is the most personal placement in a birth chart. So when I'm talking about the rising sign, I'm talking about you, really, and how you see things, your perspective of the world, the energy that you give off when you're meeting people, and the attitude really that you take out and face and display to the world based on your experience of your environment. And if you're a Taurus rising, then you envisage the world's environment to be a beautiful and peaceful, harmonious, calm place. It's one of the big 3 things to know about yourself. Whatever your sun, moon and rising is, please make sure that you know this, guys, because your rising sign is basically going to set the foundation for the rest of your birth chart, the order in which things are going to play out for you in your life. So it's an important one to find out about. Now, it will depend, of course, on your other planets that you've got, wherever your sun is, whatever sign your sun is. Is it a fire sun, water sun sign, wherever your moon is as well. And it will also depend on what you've got aspecting your rising sign to how your rising sign will play out. And also, let's just get this one in. If you're a very late degree Taurus rising, say 28, 29 degree Taurus rising, you might need to check out Gemini rising, because you might resonate with that more. There's a lot of people out here with some unclarity around their birth time. So let's have a look at what it's like to have a Taurus rising. It's the feminine fixed earth sign that's ruled by Venus. So if you're a Taurus rising, then your chart ruler is Venus. And Venus is all about love and beauty, peace, harmony, things being aesthetically pleasing. There's very much sophisticated and elegant vibes linked with the Venus there. And it's also the Venus being mixed with Taurus and the earth sign here makes it a very slow energy. So Tauruses are slow and stable, predictable. This is fixed earth. So they are logical and practical and deal with practical matters. They're very much realists. And as I said, tend to see the place as a place of beauty. It should be a beautiful environment they can enjoy and feel comfortable. Like, comfort's a big thing for Taurus risings. So it does actually depend though, guys, where your Venus is in your chart to how your chart ruler will play out for you. So you make sure you have a look, because you could end up with your Venus actually being in fall or detriment in Aries or Scorpio. So this is why it's important actually to get a birth chart reading. This is just going to be a general reading, and we're just going to look through some of the general traits of a Taurus rising archetype. So these are people that are concerned with high quality. They like things, Taurus is the 5 senses: touch, taste, smell, all of that. So they like things to look good, smell good, taste good, it feel good. How does things feel? Material on their clothes, what type of bedding they use, what type of cotton that they've got. It'll be something high quality, because they are concerned really with having a nice environment. They like to enjoy life. They definitely do know how to relax. This is a slower paced energy. So if you compare this to the Aries rising, which is the male cardinal, which means it's fast, male cardinal fire sign, you know, that moves without thinking, without any forethought. Taurus doesn't operate in that way. Taurus likes to take their time and not be forced. You can't force a Taurus rising into doing something and try and push them, because they'll just be like, I'll do that when I'm ready, thanks. Like, because it's the bull represented by the bull. Bulls like to just relax, do their thing, chill in the field, eat grass, not be stressed. So the Taurus risings give off such a beautiful, calming energy, and the way that they think about things and the way that they present themselves to the world is in a very logical and practical way. They come across as a very much a trustworthy person. This is someone who seems to have their shit together. This is not someone who's erratic and all over the place. Obviously it depends on your chart as a whole, but in general, Taurus risings are very firm and steady people. Because this is the fixed earth sign, Taurus risings are not into big, huge life changes and big sudden change. They are quite rigid in what their plans are. This is 5-year plan type person. Earth is stability, being logical, being practical, and as I said, it's a slower energy. So even when there's a really big and important decision to be made, Taurus risings won't just rush and make that just because they have to. They will take their time, but once they've made a decision, they will stick to that. They're very, very firm in their belief systems. When you've got someone that's able to keep their cool and remain cool, calm and collected, and bide their time and not rush and appear to be so erratic, you know, it makes you come across outwardly to other people as super, super stable. It's a very calming energy. When you're around, if you're around other Tauruses, just the Taurus archetype, it's such a calming, soothing, calling vibe that they bring, because they hold it together. Like one of my best friends, she's a Taurus sun sign. My sister-in-law, she's a Taurus moon. Especially if I need some sort of logical, grounded, thought-through, practical advice, I'll ask my sister-in-law Taurus moon, because she gives me real sensible advice. She'll think about it. She'll take some time and check in afterwards and things like that. So you just have a soothing vibe to people, and you bring a calmness. But because you have got Venus ruling here, and Venus being your chart ruler, that will, of course, indicate, I mean, you can't pin down physical appearance, everything to do with your rising sign, because your rising sign is actually more on an energy level. It's the energy that you give off. So as well as your physical appearance, it's how you energetically appear to people. So you're very Taurus rising, so you do look good. You know how to dress. You know how to put yourself together, and you like to feel comfortable. Like thinking again, my Taurus best friends, sister-in-law Taurus moon, for example, just even the way they dress, they always just look good. Effortlessly look good, and they always look comfortable. And you know, with Taurus rising, I get kind of hippie vibes sometimes. You know, these people just like to chill, but you're very attractive as well. There is just something with the Taurus rising, Libra risings. There is an attractive aura that you give off, and people are kind of drawn to that. You probably find Taurus risings that people might just stare at you quite a lot. If you're a Taurus rising, you might stare too a lot at somebody that you might like, because that's just how the Taurus archetype plays out. But they also have a lot of social grace. They understand how to act in a public setting. They've got Aquarius in the 10th. They understand the collective. They understand there's a time and a place and how they're seen. They're not going to be out here in public acting all a fool right now. You know, they're not really going to want to be associated with like riff-raff behaviour, because that's just not how they operate. They're a very calm sign, as I've been saying, but it is important to point out, though, that even though they're calm, if you push and you push and you push and you push, remember Aries is in the 12th of the subconscious mind, so they can have triggers. You know, they can in their subconscious have that, you know, cardinal aggressive mindset. So if you push them too far, they will react. Like maybe once they let it go, maybe twice, but if you keep pushing them, it's the ball, they'll explode. And with a Taurus's anger, Taurus rising, and you guys get mad because it's the fixed earth, you've got endurance. Like you can stay. You've got willpower. You're not going to give up. So when you've dug your heels in about something and you feel a certain way, that is it. And if the person that you're dealing with hasn't got the same endurance levels as you, then they're not going to know what's going on here. Because of course you can have that stubborn trait. Can be seen to be stubborn. You've got Aquarius in the 11th, Taurus rising. The fixed signs, of course, give that stubborn quality. So you will kind of come across as stubborn. But basically, the way that you're going to be seen by people is, as I've been saying, strong, sturdy, quietly confident. Taurus risings are quietly confident. You know, they're energy, if they're in the room with you, for example, you know that this isn't someone who's a pushover. They might not be the loudest person shouting and that, but you know that they're not someone you can take the mick out of, if you know what I mean. Respect is another big thing for Taurus risings. You know, they give respect, they also expect respect. They're not going to let you just disrespect them. They're going to let you know. This is what I mean with that. They don't give you the energy that they're easily a pushover. And if you think that they are, you'll soon, once you try it with them, you'll soon find out pretty quickly that they're not. Aries in the 12th, in their subconscious. Like these are extremely quietly confident people with having Aries in the 12th. They know their capabilities. They know their power. They know their strength. But they know that they don't have to be shouting the loudest to gain the most respect. They're cleverer than that in a way, you know, logical and practical. They assess before they move things. And, you know, the sort of rigidness that they have, though, you know, with the firmness, and you can, once you've kind of got an idea in your head, you can kind of get fixated with that and want it to go a certain way. And if something deviates from the plan, you can be like freaking out a little bit. But this is one of the reasons, like, let's think about it. You've got Pisces in your 11th. Pisces, this is the feminine, mutable water sign, super creative, super open-minded, so many things. So the Pisces energy make really good friends for Taurus risings, because they'll show you the possibility of things that you might not have actually considered. They'll be like, oh, have you thought about it like this? But what about this? And it might be very, very out there in comparison to what you guys think, but it's not that you don't appreciate that. You know, you like a bit of an out there thought. You can get down with that. You've got Sagittarius in the 8th. Going deep, deep, deep. So when you want to, you Taurus rules the second house in a birth chart, and the second house is about, you know, your values, possessions, and a lot of people put value into money. So of course that's why Taurus is a very heavily linked to liking money and wanting money a lot, because that is what a lot of people value in these days, and they're about stability. And they know you need money to be stable in order to build. It's, you know, if you want to get along and conform, shall I say, if you want to conform to society, you want to get along in today's world, then you do need some money to build. So they are money orientated people. They are goal orientated people. There's things that they want, there's things that they want to go, there's things that they want to buy, and they know this is going to cost XYZ. They've already got that planned out. They like a plan, as I've been saying. So they will work very hard. These are very hard-working people. They will work hard so that they can splash out and splurge and have the things that they want, because this is a sign, as I've been saying, that is concerned with comforts, home comforts, luxuries, the 5 senses. They like things to look good, smell good, taste good. It's how they're naturally inclined, and they see the world. Taurus risings, you see the world and want the world to be a beautiful place, and you like to enhance that in your own life by surrounding yourself with whatever you find beautiful. That could be in the way that you dress, could be the way that you keep your home, even in your work environment, for example. Like, you want to get on with your colleagues, you like to work in a beautiful setting and have harmonious relationship, like family vibes with your colleagues. You're not going to want contentious relationships and things like that. So I was thinking, you know, those signs, I don't know if this is just a UK thing or whatever, but those signs that say stay calm and then there's some sort of slogan. So like, stay calm and carry on, like stay calm and take a nap, stay calm and take a chill pill. Like, that's such a Taurian sign and statement. Like, that whole stay calm, that's their vibe. They want calm people around them. They want to be calm. They enjoy like-minded people who they can actually connect with and get on with and explore with. You're also very much seen by people as a money maker. You know, you got Gemini in the 2nd, probably using multiple ways to get your income. You got Aquarius in the 10th, so use your connections with other people to work your way up the career ladder and get where you want. You know, Aries in the 12th, and your subconscious thoughts is led by the leadership, entrepreneurial fire sign. So you know what you can build. These are people who are thinking about building an empire. This is what they can have, the 5-year plan, but they've got the patience, the endurance to pull it off. And when there's something of interest or something that they really want to do, a Taurus rising, they can be really fixed and dedicated on making sure that happens. They will see it through to the end very much. But slight disclaimer here, guys, as well, because it will depend on if you've got any planets actually sitting in your first house that can modify how your rising sign is going to play out. So that's another thing to sort of be mindful of. But let's have another look at some of the other angular houses, because the angular houses, you know, 1st, 4th, 7th and 10th, these are the ones that are kind of the foundations of your life, really. So Taurus risings, you've got Leo in the 4th. So this means in your childhood, growing up, you probably had one of your parents was a louder one, was more louder and expressive, was quite a creative household, was a lot of fun. Or when you're older, like, it's going to be very important to you to be having a fun household. But this is why Taurus risings are super creative. This is quite a fun sign to have. And because, you know, Leo is, you know, ruled by the sun being the father, let's think about it like that. So, you know, Leo in the 4th means in some way that the males play a dominating role, I find, with Taurus rising. But this is another reason why you're also quite quietly confident, because Leo is the king queen vibes, and that was in your 4th house of home, what you grew up in. So you know what you bring to the table. You know how you should be treated. You know what you should be expecting. You know, your parents would have like built you up and given you a good, strong ego, basically, a good starting foundations to take out into the world. The 10th house, Aquarius, you are seen as intelligent. You are seen as somebody who is well connected, and you actually want to be seen and valued for your uniqueness, for your difference. The career path and what you want to be seen for is making a difference and changing things. Again, firm in their belief system, not really caring too much what other people think. Somebody else's thought would not change a Taurus Rising's plan. They're going to stay on task. Leo in the 4th, a strong, quiet confidence. They know what they bring to the table. They're not unsure of themselves. So lastly, I'm going to talk about your descendant sign. Your descendant sign is the 7th house. And the 7th house, this is the house of relationships, partnerships, marriage, just long-term relationships with others, basically. It can also spill over to sort of like business contracts, things like that. It's not just people that you get into a relationship with, but it's the energy that in terms of long-term relationships you can build with the most. So for most Taurus risings, you will be attracted to and probably with or have been with Scorpio archetypes, because Scorpio sits in your 7th house. So this means that first of all, Taurus risings don't rush when they're looking for a partner. As with everything else that they do, they're not in a rush. They're selective. They will be looking at their potential partner like, but what can you bring? Because they're not about to mollycoddle somebody. Taurus risings bring a lot to the table. They've got a lot of plans, and they like to invest their money and invest their time carefully, and they won't just do that in anybody. So they will be selective of a partner, and because this is the fixed sign, and and Scorpio in the 7th is also fixed. So when you are in a relationship, it's long term. You're in it for the long haul. It's not flitting in and out just to do that. And Taurus risings, because you can be like quite rigid and really, really firm in how you do things. This is what you need to have the Scorpio energy on the other half, because Scorpios, although they're fixed, they've got the Mars Pluto influence there. So they go through deep transformations. That's what Scorpio is about. Transforming, changing. And they're a little bit better at adapting to change than you are, and can help you with that. Show you how to do things, take out your comfort zone basically, and do things you haven't probably done before. But in a partnership for a Taurus rising, trust is key. You really need to feel that, deep bond with somebody. You're looking for a partner for life, somebody who is not going to go and spill all of your deepest, darkest secrets out there. No, somebody who is ready to build with you, who's got your back 100, you've got them 100. That's what you need. And if someone's not showing you that, you won't stand for it. But a lot of Taurus risings, you'll probably find that you are attracted to people of Scorpio archetypes. The other reason why this is because Scorpios are super intuitive. This is again fixed water feminine sign. The water signs are intuitive, so Scorpios can just feel things and sense things, which is good for you, because, as I say, not always most outwardly expressive, or you just like to appear cool and calm. Scorpio can just pick up on something if something's not right with you. They'll just sense it and be able to just help, and that's what you need. You don't want someone who you have to tell him constantly, do this for me, do that. You need someone who can just see it and do it. But it's a beautiful match. It's a perfect match, because these are people that usually stay, like if you get like a Taurus rising with a Scorpio archetype, these are people that have long-term relationships. They can stay in it for the long haul, because it is compatible. But I'm going to leave it there, guys. That was my video on the Taurus rising. If there was anything that I said that you liked or could relate to, then drop me a like. And if you haven't subscribed yet, then please subscribe. Come with me on my astro journey through YouTube. Coming up in my next video, we're going to be talking all about the Gemini rising. So I'll see you in my next video.